Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your 7-card shadow draw, full moon to new moon read. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions. Since 1998, the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you could call me Mal at this point. I know people are saying it along with me, and that's kind of cool. But if you are new to me, new to this channel, and new particularly to these reads, just a quick explanation. A 7-card draw is 1 card from 7 different decks of cards. We got 2 tarot, 2 healing systems, and 1, 2, 3 oracles. I think that's 7. I didn't draw it out, but there are 7 of them on the table. Please don't make me do math. For a specific timeline, right? Different pantheons of the divine speak through these different decks to get you what you need for a specific timeline. We are doing a waning moon read from full to new moon, and very interesting action-packed couple of weeks here. You know, half of a moon cycle, 14 days, a lot of astrology going on. The full moon itself is waxing in Pisces right until the moment it goes to full, and then it goes void, of course. We had that last time as well. Monday, September 20th, 7:55 p.m. Eastern Time. That's where I live. I'm in New York. Goes into Aries. Goes out of void into Aries, 11:13 p.m. So I'm going to say, obviously, get your, you know, if you want the waxing moon side of that, you just got to get it done before 7:55 p.m. on Monday. That's easy. 2 days later, it's Letha, Mabon. Letha, it is Mabon. Why did I write Letha? Mabon, it is the autumnal equinox, one of my favorite Sabbats, right? Equal day, equal night, the first day of fall. Mercury goes retrograde September 27th until Monday, October 8th. And catch this, the new moon, again on a Monday. These are all happening on Mondays. It's a little odd. The new moon in Libra, Wednesday the 6th, 7:05 a.m., which is lovely. You can wake up in that new moon in Libra. But Pluto goes direct at 2:29 p.m. that same day. So like there's a retrograde going on. There's just a lot going on. So now I get why I'm doing a shadow read, right? So buckle up, both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. You want a reading with me? There's a video in the links down below explaining how to do that, what goes on before, during, and after. You want to read my book and all that, that's all down there too. But certainly this, like as soon as I was writing down the astrology onto the clipboard, I was like, oh yeah, the shadow work's gonna come hot and heavy. So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Do check your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, even if there are other planets that seem more active. Your Jupiter, because, you know, because Jupiter. And certainly, you know, Pluto, that's generational, right? It's like huge numbers of people are in a particular Pluto sign. So other than that, let's get up in this gig. Both feet on the floor, as I said, and here we go. Too much to explain. Let them do the work. Use me. Here we go. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck as I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, as well as the totem animals and the animal spirits for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the 1 card, the dominant 8th chakra archetype, what's hovering over their heads, just affecting the energy of everything else underneath it? Chakras, meridians, electromagnetic templates of who gets drawn in, who gets repelled. What's going on here? Where's the shadow work they need to do? This full to new, September to October. Well, are you just shooting at the walls of heartache, bang, bang? You've got the warrior. I love her. Patti Smythe. Not to be confused with Patti Smith. People have the power, and the warrior are two different artists. The shadow attribute, now this is the shadow to light, right? The toxic to the healthy. This is the shadow work that's indicated here. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Doesn't mean this is the way you are all the time. Could also be somebody else you're dealing with, but that still means you're having a run-in with the warrior archetype. The shadow, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, which, hello, doesn't have to be necessarily on a literal battlefield to see that nowadays. Just a discussion with somebody, people go there. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Well, I think we can see that on planet Earth. The light attribute, what you're shooting for here in the alchemy of shadow work. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, which is willpower, is choice power. We'll keep that in mind. Heroism instead of villainism, right? Stoicism and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. Really, really looking at the ego as something that is in a process of evolving, and it wants what it wants, and it will certainly try and win at all costs, but to come from the place of the soul and say, no, we're going to do this honorably. We're going to be heroic about this, or maybe even super heroic about that. Let's keep going on that. Heart, throat, third eye, crown, right? We're going to take the chakras down with this deck. And the next, this is the world behind your eyes, your feminine energy, your internal energy, your yin side. I like that, right? Although you can't say yang side. I guess you could. Yin side, yang side, right? Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, because come on, Aries, the warrior. Aries in Greek mythology is the god of war. So, all right, that's a real alignment there. I get that. So I call upon my goddesses of fire and of the south and the sign of Aries, cardinal fire. What's going on, heart, throat, third eye, crown, they need to be aware of here, right? That they can, this is usually where the shadow work is done, the majority of it at least. Heart, throat, third eye, crown, what do they need to be aware of with this alchemy of the warrior going on inside of them? This full to new. My darlings, you've got the Phoenix, the Death card in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Now, I always see her rising from, not going to, but this is a shadow read. So you're going through a period of internal transformation. And as I said, willpower, right? The element of fire, if you want to go there, your choices, your decisions, what you will say, what you won't. Like, are you going to let them have it between the eyes? Truth without compassion is brutality. And you learn that the hard way, certainly. When you can dish it out, can you take it, right? That in particular. So I'm, it's been a lifelong thing. I'm a spiritual teacher. My God, since the early 90s, I've been standing up in front of people. I was a public speaker before that, even in school. Never debate club, though. You don't want to fight me in that way. My mother said I should have been the lawyer because he could never win an argument with me. I'm like, well, I got spirit guides. They're ratting your shit out to me while we're having this conversation. Yeah, they don't need to know that, though, do they? Let's keep going. Obviously, a transformation. The death card, the internal transformation, but who isn't, really? And it's a waning moon read. Totally makes sense. Let's look at those lower three chakras. Now, these really have to do with your relationships in the world. Root chakra, root sacrum, solar plexus, right? Root chakra is tribal dynamic, right? Think of your roots going out and connecting not just to your genetic family, but all sorts of different groups, political, social, right? Even things like, the word geek, right? The geek community, right? How we're in all of these overlapping circles. So let's see what this has got to say about this. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, yeah, as I call upon my gods of fire in the south, the sign of Aries, cardinal fire, the ram, the warrior, the god of war. Please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing. The warrior archetype, well, in an interior death phase transformation, I don't know that's necessarily the shamanic descent. They might be rising from a shamanic descent, embracing the shadow, right? That's more the devil card. This is, definitely can be the rising from those ashes. So what's going on there for them, this full to new, sept to oct? 2 major arcana cards from the only 2 tarot decks on the table. You've got Justice, Athena. Really looking at this third eye from the outside. I mean, major arcana from the Death card, there is not just a balancing of the scales. This is about you seeing clearly. Now, that can indicate clairvoyance. That's what the word means, right? So it's not so much about the 20/20 here. It's about what's going on here. Are you seeing truth? Are you seeing what appears to be true? And there's lots of things that appear to be true that aren't. The sun rising in the east and setting in the west. No, we turn, right? It's like, that's an obvious one. But of course, with this, with the warrior, Athena is the goddess of wisdom, but she is also the goddess of combat. Granted, the strategist with the spear on top of the mountain. She didn't get her hands dirty, but Aries did. He was on the battlefield, right? Hot. Very, very hot. So, you know, if you're a social justicer, this would make sense. That there might be some interior transformation that you have to go to so that you can do this heroically, right? You don't have to violate your honor code. You don't have to win at all costs, and because we go there, we get possessed by the anger and pain. And if you're an empath on top of that, oh please. Let's see what the Ascended Masters have to say. No bookie book for this one. The last 2 cards have bookie book. I think we're familiar, if you've been watching me for a while, with the Matcon Healing Mantra deck. Plus, I've been working them personally and with my clients for, God, almost 2 years now. Breathe. Waiting to inhale. My gods. Sorry, my Ascended Masters, wrong pantheons, although a lot of you overlap. Athena in particular, Lady Athena, please, white courtesy telephone, 1 card in clarity, my Ascended Masters General Assembly. For the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the warrior with the death on the inner, justice on the outer. What's the perfect healing mantra? Just to help them through this with the shadow work they need to do this full to new. Rewiring the nervous system. I don't know if you're ready for this. Take a deep breath. I find strength in surviving my traumas, which is a nicer way of saying what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. And at the same time, as an immortal, eternal soul playing the game of being human for a larger purpose than we can ever see. While we're down here, you know, the higher self and the soul have way more than the personality does. Then to know that by really acknowledging that the transformation that you're going through, I find strength in surviving my traumas, which says that, again, regardless of whether the pain you are feeling is your own directly, empathic, or, you know, someone around you in your life where you have to stand up in justice there for them in some way, know that the pain that you're carrying is part of. You know, trauma has become an interesting word over the past, let's say 15, 20 years. Originally, the word trauma meant a wound that could not be healed, right? Traumatic brain injury, just as one example of like so many. But there is healing of traumas, mental and emotional, going on because we are learning, we are growing, we are evolving. And because once you start bringing in the divine spirit and all of that into it as well, it is a bit of a game changer. So look, with 2 major arcana cards here, it's about really being honest with yourself. If you're going to be a warrior, to be an empathic one, I just heard this the other day, that a lot of where our empathy comes from is because we've experienced what people are going through in other lives, right? It's like we're not doing that in this life, but I have the memory in my soul of that pain, of that suffering, right? And there's an acknowledgement of that. That's, you know, it's just a different point of view of empathy. Instead of being a detriment somehow. No, empathy is a soul intuitive skill. It's a diagnostic skill, so you can feel a room, and different chakras have different vibes and how they do that, particularly the lower 3. So this could absolutely be about actual literal justice in the world, but you are going through a big internal psychological, if you want, heart, throat, third eye, crown transformation. And you are surviving. You are rewiring your nervous system as a result of the traumas that you are surviving that is really getting you through this. And I'm going to say fairly. However that plays out in a general read. This is intense. You're Aries. I shouldn't be shocked. I'm not, actually. Let's see what your higher selves have to say. Now, I will say, I had a client come yesterday, drove, I thought she was flying in, she wasn't. I said MacArthur Airport's right around the corner from me practically. She drove from another state nearby, came for a reading, had a lovely, lovely time. But she was like, uh-oh, the party turned her deck, because that's what I call it. Whispers of Love Oracle, all of a sudden it's like the romance card or something. So let's see. The voices of your higher selves. Please take a nice deep breath. Well, and the higher selves of all involved, let's do this as I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is the Whisper of Love Oracle card? Piece of information, inspiration, insight needed by the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the warrior, death on the inner, justice on the outer, rewiring their nervous systems, getting stronger by just surviving their traumas. What is the piece of information, grace, that you have for them this full to new? Back to what you love. This is a really good card. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. I'm just going to say, with this transformation going on. Not shocking, you're transforming. You know, there's a difference between a state change and a transformation. Water to liquid to, water you evaporate, it turns into water vapor, so that's liquid to gas. But you can't unburn a cookie, right? That's a transformation. This is not a state change. This is a transformation. From cookie dough to cookie, there is a difference. For some reason, the Sicilians in my family, they all love burnt cookies. I'm like, golden brown is fine for me, thanks, whatever. So, you know what I mean, what I was doing there. Getting back to what you love here. There may well be a healing process here that you can go through heroically inside of yourself, really, really re-evaluating. Like that's the other thing about Athena. Wisdom comes from experience. So all that you've been through here, these traumatic experiences have taught you things on a soul level. I can feel that. Where your own intuitive pull is going to have a big say in how you do this, but as the traumas are coming up, because you got to feel it to heal it. I wish there was another way, but apparently there's not. That as you heal this, and they're giving me throat chakra, I really have not been coughing all day long. Hold on. Yeah, like there's like a tickle or something in the back of my throat. I get this part of it. But take this time as well to deal, right? To just sit back and say, I have survived. Just stop and look back at what you've survived. Not just in this situation, because you probably know what this is already, but in any other. And you're going to learn something really from your heart, from your higher selves, about what it is that you really, really want. And it might be even what it is, yes, you're willing to fight for, and we've all got those. But who it is you really want to be. Right? That's very Aries, right? Like who you want to be in the world. Cardinal fire sign. Okay, whoops, I got these reversed. Sorry. Oh, how dare I? How dare I have the decks reversed? It's the first reading. Be kind. Rewind. There was this thing called Rewind once. It's still there. It's just not quite the same on a phone. Shall we? We are diving into the very, very tricky bookie book read of the next two, the Divine Animals Oracle, who, what I should say, are the spirit animals and or totems walking with you. Spirit animals and totems in my study, learning, and experience are not quite the same thing. But that's a conversation for another time. So this takes a minute because I gotta go nonverbal. Garbage truck is here, but they're actually being rather quiet and I don't hear the boop boop noise. If it gets really loud, I will pause this video, but I think we're okay. The windows are shut. I, of course, can talk over it. I'm Mars conjunct Leo rising. Hopefully they don't have the boop boop backup noise, because that's annoying on video. We'll see. I gotta go pre-verbal. Please take a nice deep breath. It's a little distracting though. Yeah, but there we are. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Aries collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, please. From the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, just leave one card in my hand. Because a warrior needs a totem or a spirit animal along with them, right? We're not going to read everything in the book about it, but we are going to get the vibe for them. So if they are working the animal magic, if you will, that they will have the guidance and grace they need. This warrior, death on the inner, justice on the outer, rewiring the nervous system, getting back to what they love. This full to new September, October. Oh my God, the Wolverine. Yeah, no, I think we got a good temperature vibe of what's going on with the Aries collective, at least the ones watching this this video. Oh, fierceness. Yes. Ooh, wow, fierce. Ooh, Wolverine fierceness. Serving real Wolverine fierceness. Oh shit. Watch out, all other 11 signs. The Aries are being given permission to be fierce. Not like you can help it anyway, usually. It just sort of comes with first sight of the zodiac. Can't wait to read this. Fierceness, the Wolverine, card number 5. We should develop a sense of healthy fierceness. Healthy fierceness. Right now, do not shy away from things that confront you, but choose carefully how you act. Gee, the warrior with death on the inner, justice on the outer, you think? You can be fierce, but not angry. Loyalty is important right now. That's an interesting thing. Take that away. I can be fierce without being angry. I can. It's just I live alone and I work from home, so only my cats really get to see it, and you, I guess, if you want to go there. Now, I've said it before, this book has so much information on it. We're just going to the little paragraph on the magic, right? The magic, Wolverine magic snicked. Wolverine magic is to be utilized when you need real will and determination. Throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra. Marsha, when you are against the odds and you need a bit of healthy fierceness to get things done, call on this animal's energy, Logan. Also, if you wish to have an energy witness to keep a vow or secret safely for you, Wolverine would be a great choice. Wow. Wow. I mean, it feels good, but it feels very, very powerful. I mean, that's a lot of fire energy. I mean, even here, I'll show you the card, right? It's like literally a warrior with a sword and a shield standing on top of, a gigantic Wolverine with like lightning flashing. It's like straight out of Marvel Comics. Coming at you through the tube of you. Yeah, I would say be careful, but you're an Aries, you're gonna do you anyway. How nice that the last card is from the Blessed Bee. It's a long intro, just like mine for my videos. The mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower. Blessed Be. And who is it? Written by my usual watchers, my subscribers. Lucy Cavendish. Alois Havre and Maluna reads. Waxing to waiting or waiting to waxing, because I just love her name. And this is an awesome bookie book that comes with these really gorgeous cards. This is again the collective pantheons. We start with the collective pantheons, we end with the collective pantheons. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, as I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, guiding and feeding this reading for the Aries collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the blessing that you place upon the cardinal fire signs with, so that they can find their strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, which is such a repetitive theme here, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, realizing, conquering the ego while they're undergoing this transformation inside of them, which can mean just about anything in any situation. Nothing here is pointing out any particular specifics, except to say on the outer there is justice being done. Whether from the outside looking at them, right? They said, like, really seeing what's there, like what is truth, real clear third eye. But this could have a social justice angle to it, or a personal justice angle, with rewiring the nervous system, that they find strength in surviving their traumas, that they acknowledge that they look back and see it, that in this transformative process that they're going through, because it's getting them back to what they love, burning away what is just not important to them anymore. And maybe it was true, but maybe it's no longer their truth, with fierceness that they polish those horns and, you know, buff up the forehead and get ready to plow ahead and do what needs to be done with some seriously healthy, balanced Wolverine magic. Oh, my collective pantheons, what is the blessing that you place upon them? Last card down. This full to new. September, October. A blessing of protection. Gorgeous. 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 Card. I'm susceptible to purple and green, being an avatar of Dionysus every now and again. And is that a sloth in there? There's something going. There's a lot going on in this card. Let me read it to you. Card number 25, a blessing of protection. Now this one I don't need the bookie book so much, just for the little italicized intro. A blessing of protection. I mean, I think sort of does make sense. Here we go. Let's do this for real. Hold on. Let's do this for real. Breathe. Card number 23, a blessing of protection. A blessing to shield and safeguard you against harsh circumstances, people, weather. May the blessing of an ancient sword be yours, warrior, held high and shining, subduing all who may, through intent or simple destructive force, do you harm. May a great shield be held above you, so that when arrows rain down on you, they may glance off, leaving you untouched, unharmed, but with the great, glad, fierce joy of life given again to you. Come now. May the protection of the land beneath you be yours, so your feet are firm on the good earth, and all good food rises and finds its way to your table again and again. May your home, your creatures, your children, all who dwell within your walls be sheltered and encircled with a ring of bright flame by the goddess, and let nothing that could harm you pass. And if you leave your home, let the path you walk be starred with blessings, so that each touch of the earth upon your feet is gentle and safe and certain. May the rowan tree, growing strong above you, and beneath her branches may there be protection. And with those gentle leaves come the blessings of kindness, tolerance, acceptance, and embrace of nature and her medicine within you. May the cloak of the goddess be about you, keeping you warm and safe, shielded and sheltered, hidden from those who would do you harm, comforted and encouraged to keep going. For beneath her shield, with her sword held high, within that circle of blue flame, and with her blessing upon your path, you are protected and blessed. And from this, you must know how precious and beloved you are to her, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So motivate. So it is. I mean, come on. The warrior going through a transformation, some kind of justice balancing, some kind of karma, something, them seeing what's truth, not just what's true, surviving their traumas, rewiring their subconscious, getting back to what they love with immense fearness and a blessing of protection. Oh, come on, that made it easy. But if you want to look at that, you know how to find me. Watch the video, booking a reading with Mel. You want some guidance and grace that I wrote words of grace from a professional witch on Kindle, $9.99 USD. Hey, do a guy a favor. What else are you gonna do for an author but buy their book? Otherwise, you know how intense. What a very, very clear reading for you. So the best that I can do is wish you, crystal torch in hand, the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon, September into October. My beloved cardinal fire rams, hail! Farewell and blessed, blessed be.